Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a wholly remarkable book. Perhaps the most remarkable, certainly the most successful book ever to come out of the great publishing corporations of Ursa Minor. More popular than the Celestial Home Care Omnibus, better selling than 53 More Things to Do in Zero Gravity, and more controversial than Ulon Kalufid's trilogy of philosophical blockbusters, Where God Went Wrong, Some More of God's Greatest Mistakes, and Who Is This God Person Anyway? It's already supplanted the Encyclopedia Galactica as the standard repository of all knowledge and wisdom for two important reasons. First, it's slightly cheaper, and second, it has the words "Don't Panic" printed in large, friendly letters on its cover.
And Don't Panic is the name of the game. Obviously, I had to refer to Douglas Adams with Matt Cutt's point, but, hey, I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But the point is, don't panic.
The point is 42.
The point is 42. That's a whole other conversation.
Okay.
Don't panic. Whenever you've got a landing page that's having poor performance, all right, don't panic. Don't just trash the design. Okay, we're going to give you some 10 tips on what you can do, on what you have your webmaster do to help improve lead generation. Now, a landing page, for those of you, oh, by the way, this is Aaron Sparks and John Thompson from Site Strategics. We're providing Edge of the Web Radio, talking about search engine marketing for your website. A landing page, for those of you who don't know, is a page that you're directing traffic to, either with paid ads. Okay, you're taking them straight to this kind of a sub page of your website, or social media. Social media is taking people, if they click on that shortened link, it goes straight to that sub page. Or sometimes even optimized content. You're actually having a page that has been crafted just for visits on those specific phrases. All right.
And a lot of times at Site Strategics, what we do is we approach a website to where we look at every page as a possible landing page. Because the fact of the matter is, they're not always going to come right at the very home address. They're going to come sidelong into one of the side pages.
That's right.
And we want to have an explicit call to action and make it to where that person sees exactly what they're looking for.
So here's some tweaks that we're actually going to talk about here. Number one, punch up that headline. All right. Every landing page should have an attention-grabbing headline that clearly indicates what offer it's featuring is. If your landing page visitor reads nothing else on that page but the headline, they should know exactly what they should receive by completing the form that you're having them fill out, right? If it's not clear, make it so. In addition, punch up the prominence and language of the headline. Make it bold. Use a header tag. Is it compelling? Use strong verbs, adjectives. Your headline should probably be the first thing that your visitors' eyes will gravitate towards after they reach the page, and you need to make that count. What's another point right there?
Shorten your copy.
Shorten your copy. Now, as an SEO, we love copy. Copy is king. I want 400, 600 words because I want to have my frequency of keywords in that page. That's the meat of the beast.
Yep.
But when it comes down to a landing page, a lot of times you're not counting on search engine optimization for that landing page. You need to have some briefer content. If your landing page looks more like a blog post, well, then a landing page is probably a good indication that you need to shorten up the copy. The landing page, with lots and lots of explanatory text, is not only initially daunting to the reader. Our eyes have all rolled back in our heads seeing pages that you want me to actually read this, right? But also buries the value of what you're offering. So shoot around 100 words or fewer of your copy in your landing page description, so the visitors can quickly read and understand what your offer is about, and entice it to convert. Number 3, make the value very clear. Speaking of value, does your landing page make it totally obvious what your prospects will get out of redeeming your offer on that landing page?
It means we're talking seconds, right?
We're talking seconds.
You look at it and you know exactly what.
That's right. I still go back to that same step 5. Print out your web page and step 5 feet back,
right,
and see if from there you can see what you're trying to get that user to do. If it is not obviously clear, then the graphics and the design are not promoting that persuasion. Mm-hmm. Emphasize the value in these call to actions that you have on the site. Make a call to action and make it stick. Number 4, which I can't stress enough, is breaking up text. Here's a final point about landing page copy. You may only have 80 words of copy on your page, right? And it may be clearly emphasizing the value that you're offering, but if it's all in one big chunk, right there, it may be all for naught. Separate the landing page text into bite-sized chunks. Right?
Bullet it out, bold it.
That's right. That's right. Consider using the bullet options to describe the offer and highlight the value. So you got a headline talking about the value of your offer, right? The copy is talking about that, and on the bullets, see, here's what's going through the mind of a reader that's coming through these different points of access. Is they're actually making a decision before they're even making a decision, and if they can't see what you're offering, even to in a millisecond, they'll be bouncing off. Explain the value to them. Don't rely on them to decipher what that value is, right?
Yep.
Number 5, we can't stress enough. Go ahead.
Above the fold.
Above the fold. Move the form above the fold.
And this is going to actually differ on basically what your screen resolution is.
Correct.
If you've got a bigger screen, try to think, most people look at things in resolution of 1024 by 768.
That's right. That's right. Where's above the fold come from?
I don't know.
It comes from the old newspapers. Anything that
Why would I know that?
Newspapers are dying, but it's a reference to newspapers. Is the fold of a newspaper anything that was prominent information? Sorry, I'm just showing how young you are. See, we at Site Strategics hire young guys that have great information about internet marketing. I'm just telling you right here. Well, it's up to us old guys to tether them in. Anyway, it's about that first screen of content. If your value, if your form, more important, that bucket you want them to fall into, is actually relying on them to move the cursor down and screen down that page, what are you really? What are you telling them? That you're actually wanting to make them work to give you a lead? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Position content and position graphics in a way, and more importantly, the forms in a way that's going to make it as easy as possible for them to fill in information. There should be no guesswork involved in a redemption from your prospect's perspective at all, right? And it actually may even upset them a little bit. Number 6.
Shorten your form.
Or lengthen your form. Now, I say, lengthen? All right. I mean, we've seen large forms, and you've seen you're not filling them out because they're so massive, right? Well, why in the world would I actually suggest lengthening a form? Well, first of all, understand that the more form fields you have, the less likely it is people are going to want to fill them out, right? So therefore, the length of the form on that landing page needs to align with your lead generation goals. Okay, here's the point. Well, if your sales team has too many leads coming through from a small form, right, and they're also unqualified, you can actually put additional form fields in there to actually kind of not so much restrict, but
it's weeding out the bad leads.
It really is. Don't take on so much garbage leads just to get the lead.
Right.
And
if you had a long form and you wanted to shorten it, one little trick that I've seen is people actually taking that form and extending it to multiple pages. So size does matter.
Size does matter. All right, get it? Got it? Good. All right, moving on. Number 7, improve your form's submit button. I cannot tell you enough. This is incredible. Forms, and there's been research upon research studying this, and it just blows my mind. Okay, according to a research study by the science of lead generation. Okay, and there is actually a science of lead generation. Landing page with submit buttons that actually are labeled submit tended to have lower conversion rates than those using other wording. Well, why? We think it's because of the level of commitment the word submit actually implies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. I was going to say, for a second there, I remember we actually did we saw a study where if you explicitly said in a tweet, retweet.
Right.
In fact, if you actually wrote it out instead of just doing the RT, you'd have a better retweet chance.
That's right.
So,
in this respect, this is a little bit different beast.
It's just the wording.
It's
just
the
word.
The word. I mean, think about it. The implication is,
sure.
I wish they would actually create something besides submit. But other words like click here or go or
enslave yourself.
Exactly.
That would really yield good conversion.
I'm saying, change the wording, and you would be surprised how well that actually works. And in fact, I was looking at the graphic. Literally, we're dealing with between 7% conversion to 18% conversion changes. Not conversion, but the actual difference in submissions.
Sure.
You know. Number 8, add a link to your privacy policy. Try this quick and simple trick to reducing visitors' landing page form and anxiety. Because if they're giving you information, they don't know what you're going to do with that information. So right next to the form, very present, find out our privacy information. Right?
Yeah.
First and foremost, if you don't have a privacy policy on your website, have one right now. Create one. Okay. Adding a link to that landing page, preferably right on the form itself, that directs form-wary visitors to a page that outlines your privacy. This will help quell any fears and they might have, and obviously, it'll also make you seem transparent, trustworthy, and credible, because obviously you are, right? Number 9, add social sharing buttons.
I think this is important.
Yeah. Want to easily extend the reach of your offer? Put your visitors to work. Your landing page visitors have their own networks of contacts. Many of them are likely not in yours. So if they're sharing your landing page in social media, you'll be expanding the reach beyond your direct network.
Every page on your website needs to have an ability to share it on Facebook or Twitter at least.
That's right. Last but not least, 10, add a visual or a more compelling one. Humans are visual creatures. We just talked about infographics. So it's no wonder we've seen increased emphasis on visual marketing lately. Think about all the graphics, the memes, the rise of visual-centric social networks such as Pinterest, right? Hey, they don't say a picture is worth 1,000 words for nothing, okay? So if your landing page does include some kind of visual, or even a compelling one for that matter, adding one is an easy upgrade. Or even though you've explained what the offer is and the value that they'll get from it, okay, it can still seem like a mystery to your visitors. So we recommend you including a visual that's more tangibly showing the visitor what they're going to get, especially if it's actually a product or a piece of software or a white paper. Grab a graphic, create the graphic of even a snapshot of that white paper, even to the degree of, if it's a white paper, give them a zoom so they can even see the first page of that report. Okay, they want to see the carrot before they take that next step, right? All right, we're going to be coming back with how to create a Facebook page. You want to stay tuned, because we're going to go through all the steps of how to create your Facebook business landing page. You're listening to Edge of the Web Radio on News Talk 1430. Talk to you real soon.